Whatever I saw in that canyon still wears my face, and sometimes it answers my phone. I've always considered myself a man of logic, someone grounded in the tangible, the proven, the real, ghosts, aliens, monsters. Entertaining, sure, worth a campfire tale or a good movie night. But believing in them, never. Before we continue, do not forget to like the video and subscribe the channel. That all changed in the summer of 2019. What I experienced in the dusty corners of the American Southwest did you not just challenge my beliefs. It equated them. It began with a simple plan. My best friend, Jake, and I had just finished college and were looking to unwind before joining the 9-to-5 workforce. We'd saved up for months, filled Jake's beat-up Jeep with supplies, and decided to take a 2-week road trip across New Mexico and Arizona. We wanted scenic drives, untouched nature, late-night beers by the fire, and maybe a story or two to tell afterward. We started in Albuquerque, drove through Santa Fe, and visited old ghost towns and national parks. The skies were wide and cloudless, the desert heat dry and relentless. Every mile felt like peeling back the layers of civilization. Our cell reception grew weaker, but we didn't mind. In fact, we welcomed it. Jake even joked, "No signal, no stress." About halfway through our trip, we stopped at a small roadside diner just outside of Gallup. The waitress, a middle-aged Navajo woman with kind eyes and a worn expression, asked where we were headed. Jake mentioned a detour through a remote area of the Navajo Nation in northeastern Arizona. He'd read online about a beautiful isolated canyon trail where we could camp for a night. The woman's expression shifted. She warned us, not angrily, but with genuine concern, to be respectful of the land and its traditions. She emphasized not to wander off marked paths, and under no circumstances should we disturb anything we didn't understand. Her voice lowered as she mentioned Skinwalker's dark beings from Navajo lore. Jake and I exchanged glances and smiled politely. We didn't want to seem dismissive, but it all sounded like superstition. Legends, stories meant to scare kids. We thanked her, paid our bill, and drove off. We reached the canyon trail by early evening. The scenery was breathtaking, towering red cliffs, wind-carved rock formations, and an overwhelming silence that made everything feel ancient. We set up camp near the mouth of the canyon, pitched our tent, started a fire, and settled in. No signal, no noise. Just us and the desert. The first night was peaceful. We cooked canned beans and hot dogs over the fire, shared some beers, and lay under the stars. Jake, an astronomy nerd, pointed out constellations, tracing patterns in the sky. We heard coyotes in the distance, but thought nothing of it. By midnight, Jake called it a night and retreated to the tent. I stayed out a little longer, lost in the stillness. That's when I heard the growl. It wasn't close, not at first. It echoed faintly through the canyon, low and guttural, like a dying engine. My first thought was mountain lion, maybe even a bear. I sat up, suddenly alert, listening. Then the growl stopped and a voice followed. It was faint, raspy, distorted, but undeniably familiar. "Come here," it said. I froze. My stomach turned ice cold. It was Jake's voice. I turned to the tent, thinking maybe he'd gotten up. The zipper hadn't moved. The tent was still sealed. I grabbed my flashlight and shone it toward the canyon ridge. There, standing about 50 feet away, was a figure. Tall, thin, unnaturally still. Its arms hung too long. Its legs bent slightly backward. Its skin looked decayed, like bark or dried clay. But the face, it was Jake's face. Not exactly, though. It was like someone had made a rubber mask of him. Too stretched, too smooth. The mouth hung slightly open, and the eyes glowed a dull, sickly yellow. It repeated, "Come here." I stumbled back, dropped my flashlight, and bolted for the tent. I tore the zipper open and shook Jake awake. I must have looked like I'd seen death itself. He asked what was wrong, but I barely managed. "We have to go." Now, within minutes, we had packed up everything in a frenzy. Jake did not question me. The urgency in my voice was enough. As we loaded the last of our gear into the Jeep, we heard it again. Not just from the ridge, but all around. Voices, our voices, mocking, echoing, laughing. It was like the canyon itself had become a twisted funhouse of sound. Each rock bouncing back warped versions of our earlier conversations. One voice called Jake's name in my tone. Another called mine in Jake's. It was a chorus of familiarity made monstrous. We drove through the night, pushing the Jeep harder than we should have. Dust and pebbles flew up in the headlights as we sped down dirt roads with no GPS, only instinct guiding us. I glanced in the mirror once and saw a shape on the road behind us. Just standing there, watching. Not running, not chasing. Just there. We didn't stop until sunrise, when we found a small motel on the outskirts of a forgotten town. We checked in and passed out. When I woke later that afternoon, I spent hours researching. Everything I could find on skinwalkers, Navajo witchcraft, shapeshifters. The more I read, the more pieces clicked into place. Skinwalkers are said to be witches who engage in unspeakable rituals, killing family members. Wearing the skins of animals or people, mimicking voices to lure victims into the dark. They roam the desert, especially near sacred lands, feeding off fear and confusion. Jake tried to brush it off. "Maybe it was a trick of the light," he said. "Maybe a coyote with mange." But I knew he didn't believe what he was saying. I could see the fear in his eyes. We didn't talk much the rest of the trip. The weirdness did not end there either. For days afterward, our phones glitched strangely. Videos we'd taken on the trail were corrupted, just static or frames that flashed too fast to make sense. At night, I would wake up hearing my name in Jake's voice. Jake said he heard mine. We both started having nightmares. It's always the same. A figure in the distance, with our faces, watching from the ridge. Sometimes it moved, sometimes it didn't. But it always called to us. After the trip, we went our separate ways, Jake to a job in Colorado, me back home in Oregon. We stayed in touch for a while, but eventually the calls got fewer. The last time we spoke, he mentioned seeing someone outside his apartment window one night. They looked just like me. I haven't heard from him since. I've tried to forget. I've thrown away souvenirs from that trip, deleted photos, burned my journal. But the memories won't leave. Neither will the dreams. There are things in this world that aren't meant to be understood. Places that remember you. Beings that wear your skin like a jacket. And if you hear your own voice calling from the darkness, don't answer it.